Hey, Paul, it is Kelly from Hamlin, and it's nice to meet you somewhat in person. Um, as I promised, this is my follow up to sort of walk you through a few things to get you registered for courses for fall. I am trying something new for going into fall term, doing these individual videos for all students in our program. It just makes it a little more personable and just allows me to sort of talk through things, which I prefer as compared to typing it all out in an email and going back and forth. Although I have in this email, I have an agenda that I'm going to be following, and you can follow along with me as I go. And I'm happy to go back and forth on email too as we come to some decisions about the courses for fall. So there's that. Okay, number one. Welcome to Hamlin again, and we're glad you're joining the ODC, or the Online Degree Completion Program. Um, Once we get you registered for classes, you will be getting an email, an Hamlin email account created. It will be the first letter of your first name and your last name, so it'll be P. Miller and then some number. Um, and so your email address will be pmiller some number at hamlin.edu, and then the pmiller 11 or whatever the number is will also be your username, and that's what you'll use to log into Canvas, which is our learning management system. It's where all of your coursework will happen, all that interaction in your classes will happen, and you'll be getting some tutorials on Canvas and being able to dive into a little deeper into that program, so you know how it's laid out. So I think I said this in my email yesterday that besides working in admissions, I also serve as the main advisor for the program for students in the online program. And in that role, I will work with you from here on out until you graduate. So I'm here for any questions you have. I'll help you map out your academic plan, get you registered for classes each term, and point you in the right direction if you're having personal or academic issues in the classroom. You just want to make sure that you get the support you need and that you're successful as you work towards getting that degree finished. If once you're in a class, if you're having questions about a particular course or problems, your first person to contact should be your instructor. But I'm happy to be looped in on those conversations too. Sometimes if there are things going wrong in a course, it's nice for us to know that, so to see there might be some patterns or some larger issues going on, maybe with access or around the instructor. So always feel free to loop me in on those types of things. So for this email, I'm going to be referring to your degree evaluation, the official one which I sent out yesterday to you. And this is sort of what I will use as we look to plan out your plan for the next few semesters. I want to talk a little bit about the Hamlin plan, and so it's what we call our general education requirements, or sort of how Hamlin does the liberal arts. And it's not necessarily a set number of courses that a student needs to do, but to think of it more as like skills or competencies that we think all Hamlin students should have, and what makes a well-educated and well-rounded person with that liberal arts degree. So it's skills such as critical thinking and problem solving and cultural competency, and they're all skills also that employers are looking for these days. And you'll see in your degree evaluation that middle column, HP, Hamlin Plan. Those are the letters that represent the different Hamlin Plan competencies or skills that we hope students are getting. You brought in many of those Hamlin Plan letters that you're transferring in. And there's also a number of those letters are associated with coursework within your major, within the business major. And then there are going to be some standalone requirements that you'll need to fulfill as part of your Hamlin Plan. And so as you're looking at the evaluation, you can see that you're transferring in 72 credits, which is the maximum that a student can transfer into our program. Within the business program or the major, you're bringing in 7 courses. That leaves you 12 courses left to complete in the major, which is a total of 48 credits, because one of those courses, the internship with seminar is just a 2-credit course. All the other courses are 4-credit classes. And within the Hamlin Plan requirements, you have 5 requirements left to fulfill of that. The TSEM, or the Transfer Seminar, which is required of all students entering in the program. Collaboration, fine arts, global citizenship, and a natural science with a lab. I'm not necessarily saying it's 5 courses, because sometimes a course can have multiple Hamlin Plan letters on it. So it's approximately 5, it might be 4, which means that looking at the courses you have left to complete in business, and then also the Hamlin Plan requirements, you have about 66 credits or 17 courses that you are going to need in order to graduate. Okay. That should be clear. Now let's look towards fall term. And I've laid out in this email the courses we're offering. Again, each 16-week term is divided into 2 8-week sessions. So for session 1, we're offering the Transfer Seminar, Accounting 1, a course for psychology majors, the Adult Development and Aging, and then a Hamlin Plan course, the Biotechnology in Your Life, which is a natural science with a lab. And then for session 2, we're offering Accounting 2, Risk and Resilience in Psychology, and then Business Law, another business course. So we talked a little bit yesterday about going full-time versus part-time. So to be considered a full-time student, which is mainly important just around financial aid implications, students need to be registered for 12 credits over the course of the 16-week term, which is 3 classes, which means you could do 2 classes in session 1 and 1 class in session 2. If you want to be part-time, that's just considered anything less than 12 credits. So it would be 1 class in session, 2 classes during the entire term, usually split between 1 class in session 1 and another class in session 2. I've listed 2 options for you. One, a full-time option, taking 3 classes in the fall, and another one is a part-time option, taking just 2 classes in the fall. So for the full-time option, you'd have 2 classes for session 1, the Transfer Seminar, which is required of all students. And that course, it's really a chance to just brush up on your academic writing, which is going to be important. You're going to be doing some research projects in the course, utilizing our library databases, and again, just sort of getting you back into what it's like to work at the college level, and especially at the upper division level, which is what the rest of your coursework is going to be focusing on. And then the other class that I would have you take in session 1 is that Biology 1180, the Biotechnology in Your Life, which satisfies that natural science with a lab requirement that you have yet to fulfill. And then for session 2, you are transferring in Accounting 1. So I would have you take Accounting 2. Those 2 courses are sort of paired with each other, but you don't need one, and you could just come in with Accounting 2. If you decided you wanted just to start with 2 courses, then I would recommend the Transfer Seminar for session 1 and Accounting 2 for session 2. So think about that. I'd like to get you registered in the next couple days, for sure by the end of the week, so that then I can get you information about those courses, who your instructors are, and what textbooks are going to be needed for those classes, so you can get those ordered and have those before classes start on September 3rd. The rest of the email is just some information about the academic calendar, so you know some start and end dates for the different sessions for the rest of the academic year through summer. And thank you for getting all your financial aid submitted. We should be receiving that early next week. There's always a little bit of a lag time between when students submit it and when we get it from the government. And then that will allow us to put your award together, and so you can sort of see how you're going to pay for this between grants and loans and out-of-pocket expenses, just so there's no surprises around that. I think that's it. Look this over, think about it, and let's talk about classes, and let me know if you have any questions about anything I talked about. All right, take care. Bye, Paul.